The National Museum of the Philippines is your museum. Come and experience everything that is the best and most profound and most beautiful, most special about our patrimony as Filipinos, both in terms of culture, in terms of arts, and in terms of our natural environment.
The National Museum of Natural History opened last May 18, coinciding with International Museum Day. The third part of the National Museum complex focuses on the country's geology and minerals, flora and fauna, and biodiversity.
To foster learning and appreciation, awareness of the things around us, the things that have made us who we are today, the things we should cherish and pass on to future generations. That's the kind of experience we want people to have when they come to us.
Today, I get the chance to explore the museum with Tourism Secretary Bernadette Romulo Puyat.
This is really exciting for me. And this is your first time?
This is my first time in this building. Though it was the Department of Tourism building before, this is where we held office.
Okay.
Yeah, and prior to that, this was the Department of Agriculture building.
Two departments you're very familiar with, yes.
The first-time visitor to this museum can expect to be impressed as he or she walks into the building, because you come out almost straight away into the central courtyard, which is dominated by this megastructure. And we call this the Tree of Life because not only does it bring the whole building together under a central space, but it also symbolizes how everything on display in this museum, all the forms of life and waters and land and skies, are all interconnected, in a tree of life. Go this way. So that's the main entrance over there from the circle.
So nice.
So apart from the courtyard and our iconic Tree of Life, most amazing and well known, I think for many people, is the largest saltwater crocodile in captivity when he was alive, and that's of course Lolong. From the Agusan Marsh. We have Lolong preserved here, both in his skin and his skeleton. And these are in different parts of the museum.
There was more to learn and discover in the other galleries as we go further in the tour.
As I said, many beautiful galleries. One that sticks out to my mind are the galleries on freshwater wetlands and the galleries on mangroves and intertidal zones and beaches.
Are these all real specimens?
Yes.
And you're right, mangroves, that's how you protect the environment.
It protects your coastal shoreline.
Yes.
And are these specimens that you've had for a long time?
Most of them are new in the last 5 years we've been working on this.
Look how beautiful this is.
Yeah, like this owl. It's like so many kids don't know that we have Philippine owls.
It's also a wonder to see the diversity of plants that grow in our region.
So these are
1927.
different kinds of ferns, as you can see. The museum also houses something called the Natural Herbarium.
Okay, so now the tamarack.
See, I love this, forest restoration.
So this is one of our iconic species, the Mindoro dwarf buffalo, more popularly known as the Philippine tamarack. Highly threatened, and with populations of only a few hundred pairs. The museum is very fortunate we have 2 preserved specimens, and you won't find preserved specimens anywhere else.
Secretary,
Wonderful.
what was your favorite part about this whole experience?
Actually, for me, everything. As soon as you enter, I love how spacious it was.
Yes.
It wasn't claustrophobic. As soon as you enter, it signals that this is a different kind of museum.
It's world class.
It's world class. And what's nice is you can see so many things that you can't find in other countries.
Yeah.
So something to be proud of.
Fantastic. Thank you guys so much. This was such a treat for me. Really. Guys, thank you so much for joining us in this tour. I highly recommend that you come visit the National Museum of Natural History.
Because of science, we know more about our world and beyond.
Science makes us unique and different from other animals.
For me, science is the most important thing in the whole world.
Science is the story of us. It's the story of the world around us and inside us. It's a story that's never too early for us to discover and never too late for us to learn. And whether you're 6 or 96, this is the place to discover and learn the story of us. Located at Bonifacio Global City, the Philippines' premier business district, known as the home of passionate minds, the Mind Museum is the brainchild of the Bonifacio Art Foundation, a non-stock non-profit organization that promotes science, art, and culture in the city. Purely funded by private donors and supported by world-class industry experts and institutional partners, it is the first LEED Gold certified museum in the Philippines. The Mind Museum presents scientific clarity and precision in truly elegant shapes and forms, giving you an extraordinary educational experience that inspires you to understand nature. It mirrors the passion, creativity, and dynamism of the city.
When people go inside the museum and you ask them how was the experience, they say wonderful, it's beautiful. Everything here has been carefully crafted, designed, so that it not only works and demonstrates a science principle, but also that it's beautifully rendered. I would say 95% of the exhibits that you see here are Filipino designed and Filipino fabricated. It's a Filipino science museum, built by Filipinos for Filipinos.
Since its opening in March 2012, many visitors of the Mind Museum have become avid fans of all that the museum has to offer.
The first time I came to the Mind Museum, I thought it's like a whole new world.
And they add new exhibits, so there's always something new to see.
And it's not just text, it's really interactive.
The Mind Museum is divided into 5 different galleries.
These galleries show nature from the smallest to the biggest.
And they're all interconnected.
It's the first gallery, and it is also my favorite one because it made me think about becoming a chemist. All these smaller forms that you can't see with your own eyes, the Atom Gallery lets you see it.
Third gallery is my favorite because it shows the world from the past until today. This exhibit shows Earth's history in 24 hours. And this is Stan!
Stan is named after Stan Sacrison, who discovered the most complete T-Rex skeleton ever on Earth.
It is cast from the real fossils.
From the tiniest of cells
To the largest of marine animals.
The wonders of the human brain, it's all about how life surrounds and inhabits us. The Universe Gallery is my favorite because the universe is infinite and there's always something new to discover. There's a mini planetarium where you can lay down beneath the stars and marvel at the infinite possibilities the universe holds.
And this is where it all comes together.
how we live and who we are.
How we know and how things work.
It's about how we use technology to be better humans.
Like inventions that change the world of arts and letters.
And inventions that show our high-tech future.
Just when you think the tour is over, there's still so many ways you can learn and explore. You can watch fun science shows and do experiments with the Mind Movers, our resident scientists.
You can join our monthly science parties with guest scientists and researchers.
Because of science, we are no longer beggars for discovery and understanding. The Mind Museum stands for this great enterprise of understanding nature. And what is nature? It's what we're made of. It's how we are. It's where we are. It's how we, other creatures and natural phenomena, behave. It's even why we dream. When I ask guests what is not nature, they are stumped. But we are creatures who don't rest when we're stumped. We rise with curiosity and are even more inspired to understand. So that is what the Mind Museum stands for, our collective wondering and understanding.
At the Mind Museum, science comes alive!
Kaniadtong Agosto, subay sa selebrasyon sa Kadayawan, formal nga giabdihan ang bagong Museo Dabawenyo sa bagong niining lokasyon.
Kung karong buntaga mga bihero sa niyo karon sa Museo Dabawenyo aron diskubriho ng mga artworks nga tatak Davao. Baniko, tara!
Ang Museo Dabawenyo orihinal nga nakatukod sa Magallanes Street, Davao City. Ug ang brand new museo found its new home sa Huna Subdivision, Davao City.
Tanan open yun sa tanan sa katawhan. Kaning museum period is a courtesy of City Government of Davao. So kani atong museum libre ug walay bayad.
Sa tour mga biyaheros, pakitaan ta ni Sir Randy sa top 5 highlights o special attractions sa Museo Dabawenyo.
Pagsugod ta sa tour, syempre dili magsugod sa First Peoples of Davao City, no? Kung asa sila mga unang lumulupyo diri sa dakbayan sa Davao bago ni abot atong mga mananakop na mga Espanyol. So, mo ni sila ang 11 ethno-linguistic indigenous group. Kung asa giila sila sa duha ka grupo, kaning sa Lumads community o kaning gitawag na sa Islamized community. Second object no, natay gitawag diri na on my right, nakita na to ang bus ni Dato Bagu. Usa ka hap maginda na nung hap tausog na andam ialagad ang kinabuhi para lang sa lugar diri sa atong dakbayan. Kabahin sa mga nanakop nagikan pa sa Basque sa Spain no na ang nangulo si Don Jose Cruz de Oyanguren. So mura ni siyang version ni Magellan Lapu-Lapu nga nag-away para lang depensahan ang atong yuta. Pero medyo kaning baliktad sa nahitabo diri sa dakbayan sa Davao sa atong local history. Kaya ang defender sa Davao napildi kabahin kay Don Jose Cruz de Oyanguren. Pero masking napildi siya gyapon natong giila nga local hero diri sa mong dakbayan. Ang third object na ako ipakita sa inyo nga kaning abaka rope no, kung asa significant kin siya sa una way back 1930 tungod sa pagdaghan sa mga Japanese ug sa pag-introduce sa mga Japanese ug kaning gitawag natong abaka plantation no, kaning product kung asa giila ang Davao in 1930 as a big producer of abaka. Kani ang maong abaka mao pinakadako nga importansya kaniadto kay diri mo bisikad ang economic product o kaning ekonomiya sa Davao no tungod pud sa mga Japanese sa pagpalago nila ani maong na produkto. So nata karon sa ikaupat na object na ako ipakita no ang ganing ang portrait ni Rosa Santos Munda na ginama sa to ang national artist na tubong Davao na si Victorio Idades. It's an oil acrylic on canvas no pero the artist did not use a paintbrush to paint this portrait. Stamp lang iyang gamit ani. Kung asa gibansagan siyang Mona Lisa ng Davao City. Kung kanin mao na portrait hinimo ni Victorio Idades nagikan sa kamot ni Ma'am Rosa Santos Munda, nagidonate niya nagihatag niya kay Nanay Soledad Roa Duterte, and then gikan kay Nanay Suling gi-endorse niya din sa Museo Dabawenyo para mapanghambog nato ang maong ginama sa atong Dabawenyo na namahimong national artist. So nata karon sa atong ikalima na object no, money ang gitawag na first digital telephone na gigamit sa atong 911 office, Central 911 office kung asa pag say mga tawag o mga emergency na makuha nila mo po ni ang telephone na ginagamit nila kaniadto. Kung asa atong 911 nagsugod kaniadtong 2002. So hantod karon nag-facilitate gyapon na siya na libre kung asa sa tibuok kalibutan adunay tulo lang ka lugar na nag-facilitate og 911 services no mo ni ang Canada, US ug Davao City. And only Davao City lang among sa tulo ang nag-facilitate og 911 services na free. So totally free jud atong 911 diri walay bayad.
Usa sa mga center of attraction dinhi sa museo ang Tri-People artwork.
Ginama sa atong local artist na si Banjo Satore. So kaning Tri-People no, nagpakita diri sa tulo ka klase ng mga tao nga nangamuyo diri sa dakbayan sa Davao. So na tulo ka types of people who live here in Davao. We have Native, Moro, and Christian. Kung asa sa isa ka painting, ipakita ang panagiusa sa mga Davaoenos.
Ginapasigarbo sab sa museo ang wooden instrument nga bangkakaw.
So kanon i-play nato ni sabay-sabay. Okay? So upat ka babae o duha ka lalaki kung asa unom ka sa ika-upat na parte sa bangkakaw ang unom ka musician. So diri mo ma'am, duha diri ma'am, separate. But nga nato rhythm ha para mas gwapo. 1 2 3 and play. Madayaw Davao! O, di ba? So that's how they play the musical instrument every Kadayawan celebration.
Siyempre, sama na ako, enjoy sab ang mga bisita sa ilahang pagbisita din sa museo.
First time kong pumasok dito, so lahat ng things na to kasi bago siya lahat sa akin, and hindi ko alam na meron palang ganitong mga bagay na dito sa Davao na nakatago.
Daghan ko nakita nga mga indigenous nga mga artifacts, mga saunang din.
Nag-reminisce mo sa dati sa culture kung unsa jud ang mga Davaoenyo.
Bago siya sa mga bago siya sa mong experience.
Kung nakapangita pong masuruyan mga biheros, abli ang Museo Davaoenyo, Lunes hangtod Sabado, alas 9 sa buntag hangtod alas 5 sa hapon. Ako si Percy Bangonan para sa Biyaheng Blizzard.
Welcome to the Eastern Northern Mindanao Regional Museum, one of the facilities of the National Museum of the Philippines in the archipelago. Located in Butuan City, the museum serves as a repository of the archaeological artifacts proving Butuan's prehistoric existence and active participation during maritime ancient trade 1,000 years ago. It also showcases the cultural materials of the ethno-linguistic groups inhabiting the region, namely Manobo, Mamanwa, Higaonon, and Lowland Butuanos. See you once we reopen.